here we go. We are going to have a look at edit modes. So these are 4 edit modes which are in the top left-hand corner of your edit window over here, and you have shuffle, spot, slip, and grid. There's 2 versions of grid, absolute grid and relative grid. Now, the most common one is slip. So I'll do an example of these edit modes with this, again, 3 minutes 18 into this session, where we've got the whole band doing these little stab sections here where they're hitting nice and tight, like so. And if you zoom into this second little stab, you can see that the band are pretty damn good. They're right on it, but there's a couple of little bits that are out here. So we're going to look at, say, this mandolin part here, which doesn't appear to hit exactly with everyone else, but it's pretty close. Now, the drums is always our first reference in this situation, so I'm going to tab to transient to the drum hit. I'm going to put a marker in so I know exactly where I want these bits to be. And then down here I can see this mandolin is a little bit late, the euchres are a tiny little bit early. So, I'm going to use the B key to separate these clips. I'm going to separate it down here as well. Now once I've done that and I click on this clip here, this region, with the grabber tool, I can see how now these modes are going to work. So slip means I can slip it around and move it anywhere, and it's not locked to any particular grid or template or anything. I can just click it and drag it around. It'll move in any increment that I like. Tiny little increments like so. Anywhere I move it, it's going to work, right? Which is great. Now, if I was in grid mode, whatever this grid this song is in, which at the moment it's in bars, we'll change this to, say, quarter notes, right? So this is quarter note grid here, but this track wasn't even recorded to a click. It wasn't recorded to a metronome, so the grid is not useful. But to show you what it does, when I move it around, you can see it's slipping onto these grid positions here. All right, so it'll always lock into these. Now this is fantastic when you have recorded to a click track, or if you're making music that's electronic with MIDI and so on, because things will snap perfectly in time. We don't want it for this situation though. Now shuffle. Shuffle is quite a scary little mode. It's coloured red for that particular reason. So if I move this region around, it's only going to shuffle space and clips. So if I hit delete right now, this mandolin clip will disappear and this next little clip will butt up against it. So I'm hitting delete and you see the other one moved along. And we don't want to do that, so I'm going to undo, which is the Z key or Command Z or Control Z on your PC. So shuffle will move things around like that. Now I can swap order of clips as well. If I had separated this part here and I wanted to change these around, I can in shuffle click on that one and move it there, and they will swap around. So it is quite a useful tool, but it's a dangerous one if you unless you know exactly what you're doing with it. So I'll undo that again. We'll get out of slip, and I'm going to go to our last mode, which is called spot. Now spot mode is used a lot more for post-production, or if you know exactly where you want to import a file to. Now, quite simply, if you click on a region when you're in spot mode, it brings up this spot dialog, which asks you where you want to put the region. Clip is the other name for region, obviously. So once this dialog's up, I can decide if I want to move this particular clip somewhere else, or if I want to have a particular time I want it to go to. I might know exactly what bar I want to send it to, which might be, if I want to send this to bar 98 instead of bar 100, I'll hit enter and you'll see it move to that particular position. So again, not a commonly used tool for recording bands and so on, but a very handy tool in some circumstances. You can also use the spot tool if you've moved a file and you're not exactly sure where it goes. Like say we go to slip mode again and we move this file and I think, oh, where was it originally put? I can go to spot mode, click on that region, and it has the original timestamp there. I can click the up button, it'll put that time right up here into the spot dialog, hit enter, and it'll move that back to where it originally was recorded. In this case, we've moved it around, so it's not a good position for it to be. So, a couple of undos and we're back where we were. Let's get out of spot mode and get back to slip so we can do this little bit of editing. Now, just quickly, the edit modes, shortcuts for those are the F keys on the top of your keyboard. So F1, 2, 3, and 4. So you'll see it move from shuffle to slip to spot to grid. F1, 2, 3, 4. The other thing is that the tilde key alternates between these. So it sort of moves around through the different modes, just hitting the tilde key. But F1, 2, and 3, and 4, very handy for your edit modes. Groovy.